Algebra half, we're just finding area today. You might say that sounds simple. Well, because it is. But instead of solving maybe the way that we usually did for a shape like this one, finding the area of one part and then the area of the other part, and then adding them together, finding an area as a sum. Instead, we're going to actually find area as a difference and see how that can be just as viable and sometimes even a better way to do it. Let me show what I mean. We have a shape like this one, and instead of trying to find it maybe the way you've typically done it, we want to imagine what if it was squared off like that. Now we can't think of that as part of the shape. Those don't count. They were not part of the original, and we cannot just create new spaces and say that they count. It's going to throw off our number. But let's say we're trying to find the square footage of our house, how much of a floor we have. We're still going to multiply length times width, and let's say this is where 10, and this is 2, and this is 2. This is also 2, but this is 4 and 4. Okay? How much square footage? How much is the area of the white? We're still going to multiply to find some of them, but then at the end here, I'd like to subtract to find. So we're actually going to want to know how much is the yard worth. We have 4 square feet of yard here. We have 8 square feet of yard here, and that'll come in handy in a bit. Now I want to find out, what if we were finding this whole rectangle, everything including the yard? Just square it off. Not 10 times 2, but 10 times 4 is 40. And then 4 plus 8 is 12, the part we don't want. So we subtract it out to get 28 square feet total. Almost a better way than trying to add up and find area as a sum. Just remember that this is all imaginary lines, and this is just for the point of subtracting. Don't keep this as part of it. In fact, you could show that as dashed lines maybe in your work, the way that they show it on page 85. You have practice problem B to do, where you have just a small chunk taken out. Real simple problem if you do this by difference. Solvable as addition, but boy, lots easier if you just subtract the part you don't want. Think of it as yard space that doesn't count as square footage, and you'll be just fine. Show me practice B, and we'll be off to the races.